I would put in the big rocks that matter the most. Don't let those things sway, like your marriage agenda and your coffee break things with your spouse and your family time. Keep those in there.
Welcome to the Maverick Entrepreneur Podcast, where business success meets personal purpose. Here we empower entrepreneurs to strike that perfect balance between massive growth and unwavering values. Dive deep into strategies, inspirations, and stories that ensure you set your foundation in faith and don't compromise your family on your ascent to the top. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Maverick Entrepreneur. I'm with my bride again.
Hello.
And
you got me back.
I got you back. Thank you for not quitting.
Thank you for having me back.
Yeah, babe, I'm honored to have you back. Matter
Do
of
your
fact,
people like me?
honestly, you go viral every time. I'm not, I hope it's just not because you're pretty,
I hope that's not it.
but I think it's because you got great things to say. And I think it's kind of like, remember our fireside chats back in the day?
Oh my gosh, those were fun.
People would lose their mind because they couldn't believe what we'd talk about. I'm thinking to myself, this is normal life, people. What's wrong with you? Don't you have a relationship with your spouse that you can talk to them like this?
Pure entertainment.
Pure entertainment, but obviously not. So thank you for saying yes.
Yes.
And we have some topics to talk about that I think are very important.
Yes, we do. We have real life topics.
Real life topics. And really the one thing that I think we want to tackle on this podcast is, how do you get through the holidays, family, chaos, business, life, parties, kids, school?
I'm excited for this conversation because I think you are going to be overwhelmed.
This year?
What
Or
we're about-
overwhelmed with you?
by what we're about to talk
Oh
about.
gosh.
Because I've been kind of keeping wraps and tabs on all the things that we have coming up. And I haven't fully spilled the beans to my husband that we have basically every single day in the next 3 months planned.
Yeah, then I'm out of here. What do I always tell you? If I snap and lose it, what am I going to do?
You'll be on the beach in Mexico. And then that's when I say, can I come?
Yeah, I always say if life gets too crazy and you come home and there's a note from me, the only thing that will be missing is my silver, my cash out of the safe, and my adjusting table. And I'll probably be on a beach somewhere in the Baja California, Mexico region, adjusting people for margaritas and tacos for survival.
So my job is to not get to that point.
Yeah, don't
Help
make me.
us
Don't
not
make me snap.
get to that point because we have lots of things happening.
Yeah. So in this season, I will tell you, they say that, do you statistically know the number of heart attacks on Christmas Day
That's
are
so sad.
higher than 3 months of the entire year, just on Christmas Day? How sad is that for a family? But heart attacks in December, if you added all 11 months together, they still wouldn't trump how many heart attacks happen in December. And I know why, because people are just
Sad.
no, maybe sad, but they are just working so hard to afford this, to do this, to get through it. You add an election year on there, man, we could break a record for heart attacks this year.
Well, so I don't know when this is getting released, but basically it's probably about less than 2 months away from Christmas. So
Well, there went the evergreen, baby.
pretty much we need to, well, okay,
I'm just
you can
joking. I'm
control
just
alt
joking.
delete, whatever that is.
No, it's good.
However, all seasons of life do you have to,
Yeah, you got to learn how to manage. So how are we going to help them manage crazy seasons of life?
like really practically or like
Practically.
mindset?
Well, but everything's a mindset.
Yeah.
Everything's a mindset because, I think it's fascinating that people react to life. People don't process well. Number one, if you don't have someone healthy to process with, that's your number one thing. Who do you process with? Who do you not throw up on, vent on? I remember I was getting my hair cut one time, and a mentor told me, he goes, the most subluxated, unhealthy people you'll ever take care of are hairdressers. And I said, why? And he goes, everyone throws up on them. So every woman sits in a chair 8 hours a day and throws up about their relationships, their husband, their this, their that. And this hairstylist has to take on all this negative energy all day long. And they just subluxate. And then they actually take on other people's negative mojo. And their body starts to degenerate and go disease, and breaks down on them. You'll have the toughest time having hairstylists hold their adjustments. And I
Wow.
never forgot that. So every time I had a female hairstylist, I used to like assess their body, look at their scans completely different, going, oh man, they just absorb it all the time. And I was talking back in the day. Remember that lady I had for years when we first got married? You don't
No.
remember? Oh, she was so funny. So much drama though. But
Oh, yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Now that you say that.
Yeah, yeah. And I would just tell her, you got to let people stop letting people throw up on you. Like, because what you're doing is, because I'm so positive, you're throwing up on me. So if I'm going to keep coming here for you to cut my hair, you cannot talk about everybody else and all your ish.
Do they call that verbal diarrhea of the mouth?
Verbal diarrhea of the mouth. But if you don't have people to process with, you'll throw up laterally. People you work with, people that are around you by default. It's amazing when I listen to people. My initial thought is, man, they have no one to process with. And if they do, they're not healthy either.
Yeah, because usually people process in their own minds and they get stuck there and then they're super dysfunctional because if they would have just said it out loud, they would have got their solution without even the other person talking. So usually it's just saying something out loud and you're like, oh, wait, that won't work. Or,
But
oh, yeah.
can I teach neurologically on that? Neurologically, why this is so scientifically important. When you are thinking a thought, it's actually in one part of your brain. When you speak a thought, you have to use language centers, which is a different part of your brain. And then when you hear your own voice say it, you actually hit a different part of your brain. So when you speak things out loud, you are activating 3 different parts of your brain. There's the thinking, there's the verbal, there's the hearing aspect of it. And when you hear yourself say something out loud, which is why it's so important, you will then think to yourself, that was really stupid. Do you know how many people never say anything out loud to themselves, and so they say it out loud in public, and then they look like a total
Yes.
fruitcake?
Well, actually, with that being said, that's why it's so important your
Oh, I'm gonna
mind,
sneeze. Oh,
bless you,
oh,
your mind mastery cards,
that's it.
because you read it and you speak it out loud
Yeah.
and then it activates all those things that you're talking about.
You know
Which,
what's amazing? But you brought up my Mind Mastery cards. They
yeah,
are on Prime Amazon now.
I know. Now you can get on Amazon.
And
But
the
just like
only
we're talking
reason,
about,
yeah, we have 60, oh, I'm knocking the mic over, 60,000 thoughts a day. What people don't understand is 93% of the thoughts that you're having were the same thoughts you had yesterday. That means you only have 7% new thoughts today.
wow.
And then my question is, of the 7%, how many of them are negative? How many of them are
Most,
positive? You know, it's scary. I would guarantee most of them, of those 7% new thoughts, are negative based on circumstance. And then so you rewire your mind in a more negative pattern. You get more negative, more negative, more negative. But it's
right.
phenomenal to think if you can just start speaking things out loud, you're going to solve yourself a lot of issues.
Yes.
Declare a new thing over your life. You've been great at that.
Yes.
We
I
teach our kids
have written
this.
on my mirrors. I've written notes in my cars. I've put things on my phone background, whatever thing I want to declare over
Oh,
my
even in our
life
bathroom, I was sitting there
in
looking
that
up, reading all those
season.
I am statements,
Yep. There's
going,
that.
I need to make a new poster.
But we're saying it's not enough to just read it. It's mostly important to say it out loud.
Say it out loud. Say it out loud. You know, it'd save a lot of drama, I think, in relationships. I mean, we teach our kids this. I mean, Micah said something this morning, and I go, cancel. She goes, what, Dad? And I said, even your little what, Dad, I'm canceling. She goes, I can't believe it's already, I haven't had breakfast yet and you're already saying this. I was like, well, obviously someone has to, because your default is you just used a word that's inappropriate in this house, especially towards your brother. I need you to apologize. What? I didn't mean it. Well, you said it. So therefore it's out there. It has creative force power. And so that's why probably this morning when you came back, I was like teaching Micah this principle. And
Yeah.
then
I felt
Maverick
some
was
energy when I got back
energy. Yeah,
from
that was
prayer
energy
meeting.
was having to straighten my kids out this morning.
Yeah.
And
The
then
15% is,
and then Mare was in his little moment. And
oh,
I said, hey, you're not going to be my laziest kid. You're going to be my most productive kid. Clean up that front room for your mom. And his funny attitude wasn't doing it. So he got a little disciplinary action. And then his
sounded
little,
like a fun morning.
oh, it was very entertaining when you suddenly go off to prayer and leave me to the wolves. But we handled it. And I would tell you that 15% that you were joking around, it got handled. Okay.
Good job. You're
Listen,
amazing.
yeah.
Well, okay, so we talked about mindset coming into busy seasons. So making sure your headspace is clear.
Yeah, which I can tell you're not helping me. You know why? Because we had our marriage agenda and
No.
you didn't bring up one thing for this season.
Because I'm helping you. I'm keeping your headspace clear. So
Yeah, now that I know, I want a confession, because here's the truth. Now my headspace isn't clear because now I'm wondering, taking up energy in my head, what you're holding back from me.
Oh, okay.
Why wouldn't you talk about this on our Tuesday morning coffee break agenda?
We were recapping Cherish Conference, which was way more important.
Well, I think we need an agenda then, because you're purposely deleting things that I need to know for my future.
Delete. I'm not deleting anything.
You're withholding.
Oh, withholding.
Yeah.
Well,
But here's the thing. If I have anything to do with it and you want me there, you better tell me, because you know me. If you spring it on me, I won't be there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know if I'm pumped about date night tonight because you just sprung it on me that you're taking me to a comedy show. What if I had other plans for our date night?
Well, you didn't tell me.
Well, I run date night usually.
No, that's not true.
I do. Yeah, so now you're taking me on a surprise, which I'm yielding to because it sounds fun.
It's a surprise.
Okay, good.
It's
so
fun.
I'm down for a comedy show.
Who wouldn't
But
be?
you can't throw that many surprises on me. I am a planner.
Here's what happens is when it's a busy season, you have to get really practical. And so I literally have been going through every single thing that's coming up. We have 3 kids' birthdays in this quarter. We have my husband's 50th birthday this quarter.
Well, you're dropping age on here?
Yeah, they're going to look at this and be like, wow, he looks 40.
Prophesy.
Yes.
Prophesy.
Then we have my
mom's.
What
are you guys laughing at? Oh, it's amazing. You're doing a podcast and your crew starts laughing. Wow.
We have my mom's birthday. And
We're going to celebrate your mom's birthday?
Yes.
Oh.
Honor your parents.
Yes.
And
I thought
then
we were just going to mail her a card.
we have your mom coming in town for Thanksgiving.
Dear Lord, when is that?
And we have
all in the same month?
Yeah, in the same quarter. And
your mom and my mom in the same month.
And
we didn't
have
talk about this.
2 big weddings that are both involving travel. And
we're going to Mar-a-Lago.
Yes, we're going to meet President Trump in Jesus' name. And then we have a lot of really fun things. And so
that's just November.
Yeah. And then
I don't want to be a statistic.
We get to run goal setting.
Goal setting?
Yes,
that's in November.
Exciting.
I'm pumped about that.
Yep.
This is actually, it's so funny. I've been teaching, like last year, I realized I taught goal setting, that I didn't get OCD enough about my goals. And it's one of the only years I felt a little rattled. This year, you and I, together,
we have to
hitting goals. I don't own a plane. And I on my goals, I went back and looked at my thing. It said, by my 50th.
But we did have a big garden where we had a lot of vegetables.
I'm going to burn that garden down. You know what? That garden was such a pain in my butt.
The garden wasn't on the goals, so
You're
deviated.
Right. I deviated.
He got excited about dirt.
Because I was doing a dream for you, and then I exploded a garden. What meant to be this little garden turned into the biggest garden of. I could have fed a village.
Oh.
And now my wife's irritated that we wasted so much. I mean, we had more squash.
We gave away as much as we can.
We had more squash than Vaughn's did all year long. That's how much squash 100%. We did. Yeah.
So we need to be really specific about our goals this year, whether or not we want a garden and a chicken coop.
I want a plane by the end of my 50th.
All the things.
I said by I'm 50, I'll own a plane, and I don't own a plane.
So getting really practical is every single thing.
Is there a confessional? You're going to let me buy a plane?
Yeah. So if you want to buy a plane, you put that on your goals, but then you just don't wish it to happen. Then you sit down and you practically look at what it's going to cost. You practically look at the risk. You practically look at everything involved in buying something. So goal setting is not just about putting a thing on paper.
Yeah, it's called breaking your wishbone, straighten up your backbone, and get to work.
Then you've got to plan it out, and you've got to be intentional about it.
Yep.
So it's not a goal. It's not like a wish setting seminar.
And I feel like we got to not.
It's goal setting and goal achieving. We should start calling it goal achieving seminar.
I love that.
So we're going to achieve goals,
because I tell people I'm a gold digger, and they go, "You're a gold digger?" I said, "You're deaf. I'm a gold digger." No, I'm a goal digger. It's not gold. It's goal digger.
Goal digger, goal setter, and goal achiever.
Let's just go goal achieving seminar.
I love it.
We're going to change that.
Yeah.
Note to self, changed.
Or December, we could do goal setting. And then a couple of months later, we could check in and do goal achieving.
Goal achieving. Yeah. You know what it is too? You're setting the mindset for achieving, not just setting. And I think if we're going to prophesy, it should be goal achieving. So we're learning our own thing right now. And then in January, are we going to hold our legacy event?
We should talk about that offline. See if it's in alignment with our goals.
Yeah, that's true. But I want a plane this year. I'm publicly saying that. My uncle just came down, and what did he bless me with?
A ride in his Porsche?
I gave it to me for the afternoon and said, go pick up your kids. And if you guys have ever been in that new 911 twin turbo 2025, that's a next level Porsche. I'm readjusting goals.
Okay.
I think what's happened is, we became pastors. We started doing so much pastoring. I got to stop hanging out with anybody that doesn't have like resilient mentality. I'm tightening up the circle. I want resilience and friends around me that we're going to run through walls to get stuff done with having God's wisdom, discernment, directing our steps. But I feel like I toned back my heat a little bit. Do you think I've gotten softer over the last year? And I don't mean physically, and you should never comment on that because I just saw your brain. Dude, wow. Don't even.
It wasn't about that.
Okay. Yeah, I meant mentally softer.
Yeah, but in a good way because you should be a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. You can still achieve goals and have compassion.
Oh, no.
There's
I'm not
nothing
talking
wrong
about
with that.
compassion. I meant softer in drive. You think I was less driven?
No,
Really?
just different focus. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So back to being practical about making sure that you
Well, you're practical. I'm not. So why don't you teach them?
sustain through busy seasons. And our actual assistant just told us about Notion, which is really awesome, where you can actually put like
No. Don't say told us. I've been living on Notion for a while.
me.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
I got on Notion.
Are you pumped?
And you can organize your life.
Welcome to the family.
Welcome to, why did everybody hide this from me?
Babe, I've been trying to tell you, you weren't very coachable in the Notion area.
Yeah. So you can put on there all the things that are coming up and all the things that need to happen to make that thing happen.
Where else does that show up in our marriage where I tell you something, you don't do it, but then my assistant or your assistant tells you something, you suddenly think it's like,
I don't think that ever happens.
Really? I feel like it's showed up a little bit in our life lately. It's just like you and I could work it out, or we need to call Dr. Brian?
Oh, we can work that out.
Okay, good. Just checking.
For
I
sure.
like to get the pulse. Okay. Practical, back to practical, Notion.
Yep. So
It's an
that's good. Apps and calendars and notes in your phone, like taking notes so you don't forget things. And anytime.
Because the Notes app that Apple gives us doesn't really work for me.
Well, the reason that that's good sometimes is like right before you go to bed and you just want to get it off your mind really
Thoughts.
quick so you can sleep.
But
You
Notion
can just
keeps you
stick it in
organized.
there. But then eventually it needs to end up in one place so that you're organized. Because even this year, our daughter's in Twisted, the musical, which everybody should come see at our church. And
I think if they're going to pick one, they need to all come to Night of Christmas.
And you should come to Night of Christmas. Come to both.
It's $1 million production.
Right.
At Rady Shell. Has nothing to do with church venue. It is going to be so radical, people are going to pee their pants.
Yeah. So you can come to all those. But our lives are just crazy right now because
No, don't prophesy that over me. Do you hear what you just said? My life is not crazy. My life's amazing.
That's because I've withheld.
Oh, okay. But I'm not even going to accept the term that you're using that. Our lives is going to get increased intensity.
Increased intensity.
And so let me relay this. Increased intensity is not bad. Like, do you feel better afterwards a workout that's a little bit more increased intensity? It's life.
Like that day, but then the next day you feel worse.
Yeah, but then you're looking in the mirror and I'm going, dang, babe, you look great. And you're like, yeah, yesterday was so intense. Yeah. So we're just going to go through a quarter of more intensity. So then on the outside of it,
yes,
we're going to be flourishing in all that we do, say, and think.
Yes. So that's why we have to plan better because our kids are in all the different things this year. And we have all those things that I already
volleyball, Twisted, Mavericks in I mean, everyone's doing something.
Everyone's doing something.
But we're united.
Yep. And we get to celebrate our 19-year anniversary next weekend. So that's exciting too.
Come on. That's awesome.
I just also made it not evergreen.
Yeah, that's good. You love doing that. It doesn't matter. All right. So what are some practical things people can do?
I just said.
Oh, no,
so all the things that we always do, no matter what.
Yeah, but we always do is second nature for us.
Our marriage agenda, there's a line item in there that says upcoming events, which unfortunately this week we didn't get to our actual marriage agenda. We caught up on Cherish.
Yeah, that was a big topic, yeah.
But that should cover you for the next week. But then at some point in your quarterly agenda, we should be going over the next quarter.
One of the worst things I think couples do is when they come home at night, hey, don't forget tomorrow. Hey, tomorrow you got to do this, this, and this. That is the most unproductive thing, and it creates relationships that are reacting all the time. I don't understand. At our marriage agenda, we usually go through the whole week. We look at birthdays, anniversaries, projects, kids stuff, this stuff, where we're going to be, family night. We catch up. We plan the whole week, and if stuff comes up during the week, we table it to our agenda on Tuesday.
Yes.
So at night, we actually can be loving with the kids and the family. We're not talking about, what do they say in construction?
Like how I asked you at 10 p.m. last night if I could go to prayer and you could take the kids to school this morning?
Yeah.
That throw you off?
Yes.
Well, God asked me to go at 6:30 a.m. So then.
Oh, you're playing the God card, which is another pet peeve.
It was.
Well, that's the only God
But
card
it was
you've played
serious.
in years. So that's why I gracefully said what?
And I also didn't play the God card. I just asked you if it would be possible.
Yeah, and I said yes. But now you're trying to play the God card. I knew that if you're asking me at 10 o'clock at night, it had to be important. 1, I know you love your sleep. 2, you definitely don't go to the 6 a.m. prayer meeting. You go to the later one. So if you were asking me, I had to say yes because I know only Jesus would ask you to do that.
Yep. There you go.
Because if I asked you to go to the early prayer meeting, you would laugh at me. Yeah, exactly. So I'm picking up what you're putting down. That's why we've been married long enough.
Yep.
Okay.
Good job.
So note to self, marriage agenda, so we don't react. It will help people in marriage and with their family so they can be present time consciousness. PTC is a real thing. Just listen to people. They don't live presently. They're always thinking about something else. You could say, and people that now I've decided if they're staring at their phone while talking to me, I'm not going to talk to them. That's my new thing.
Can they have that same rule with you?
Yeah, but I'm purposely staring at my phone and I hope they get the hint. I don't want to talk to them. So
Wow.
It's true. Like if I'm staring at my phone, why are you talking to me? It's like last night, your mom, what'd she say to me?
Oh, wow.
What? That's a real life thing. What'd she say to me?
Hi.
Yeah. And I'm sitting there in an intense text message and she's trying to have a conversation with me. And then she's going on a rant about me not being present. I'm like, well, say hi to me when I am not in the middle of a conversation and I'll be present. But
I think that's a generational thing because they didn't have that
I know
situational awareness
That's why
growing up.
But I put my phone down. I'm like, hi, Karen. Her name really is Karen. I wasn't making fun of it.
So you have to have grace.
Grace.
Mr. Drive.
Listen, I just feel like my grace bottle is running low.
That means you need a vacation.
No, it means I need to be around different people.
Oh, gosh. Okay.
Honestly.
This is going a different direction.
No, it's helping people. It's helping people because here's the thing. You don't want to be in situations all the time where people are draining you. Who pours into you? What are things that recharge your life?
Going to get away with my family.
Yeah.
I'm not going to tell anyone where because I don't want you to follow me.
I know. We don't need any.
And I love our time, like our date night, Coffee Marriage Agenda, our quarterly agendas, like all that recharges me. Planning recharges me. Goal setting recharges me. Being in the Bible recharges me. Being at church recharges me for the most part. What else?
Like last night was recharging. Service was amazing.
Yes, exactly.
That worship was insane. For me, it's working out.
Working out recharges me.
Going just down to read my quiet time down there with a cup of coffee and read my Bible recharges me. Being around positive people, being around people that want to be productive and add value to life is amazing. I had a Zoom call the other day with just someone that was teaching me new information about this new app. Afterwards, I was like, got a second wind. I was all hyped up to go change the world afterwards. And I realized because conversations that intellectually stimulate me bring life to me. Drama, freaking negativity, victim mentality, woe is me, suck the life out of me.
Yeah, I would agree.
I mean, last night I could have died. No, I'm just joking. It wasn't her. It wasn't her, but it was funny. It was funny, but luckily I was ready for that conversation. But so many practical things in this season, making sure you're eating healthy. Sugar intake goes up starting Halloween through the point that in the month of November, December, there's more sugar consumed than the rest of the year. Maybe that's why correlation between heart attacks and sugar intake. Then what happens is people in January suddenly go, oh, I'm going to fulfill my goals, especially on my health side. And then they get toxic, they get sick. And that's why January is the #1 month for flu shots, because they crush their body. Everyone gets a flu. And then they're manipulated and think that they're sick because they didn't get the flu shot, which is
Don't you see a ton of kids with ear infections also
oh man, ear infections go through the
around
roof
the
in
holidays?
December and January. I mean, ear infections maybe go up 300%. It's ridiculous how much ear infections go up. But that's why we train our kids. Don't let people give you candy, and everyone's good except Mare. Don't let people give you candy and you just say yes.
Yep.
They bring the candy to me and I negotiate and we work on our bartering skills and I buy their candy off them.
Yes.
Last year, Micah made more money off candy off me than any year before.
Yep.
She is getting good at
So
it.
if your kids get candy, you can pay them off for it and then you can throw it away.
Throw it away. I give it to homeless people. They need some sort of joy in their life. All the crap that we end up buying or people give to us or whatever we throw parties as leftover chips, whatever, we put homeless bags together and we give it out to homeless people.
Yes.
They need food.
Yeah.
I'm not going to feed it to my kids though,
Right.
because then I'm paying their health bill later. So anyways, any last minute practical stuff, babe, that you think can help them?
Get to the goal setting seminar.
Yeah, but why how's that going to help them?
It's going to help them realize what they are going after and be intentional about
They're
it.
like, why is setting goals down on paper even worth it?
Because it gets your juices flowing. It sets aside time to actually put on paper what you want for your life and then help you figure out how to execute it.
Yeah,
So
I think
it like just simply setting aside the time is half of the step.
I know that's what people don't get. They go like, "Yeah, I've been through it before. I can go set on my own."
But are
Well,
you
when are you going to
actually going to
carve out
sit
time?
down? Yeah. Are you actually going to sit down and do it?
And this year we're doing a VIP breakout session, so I'm
Yes.
bringing key people in for marketing, Q&A, for debt reduction, for money management, for accelerated wealth, how to have social media that actually has an ROI. All these things are important in the game of helping you execute goal setting.
Yeah.
Especially, man, if I can get this this thing wrapped around my head, wrapped around this new way to do things, it's going to help a lot of people. So anyways,
love
I'm
it.
excited about that. So goal setting, it will be live and in person here in San Diego at Awaken San Marcos campus. And it also will be live streamed. So it doesn't matter where you are. I have people from Australia this year signed up, people
Amazing.
from Europe. I'm trying. He'll be on as a guest pretty soon. Hyped about it. Canon J. John is going to be on the podcast.
Amazing.
Who is now personally responsible for discipling, what's his name?
I do know.
Russell Brand.
Oh,
So that's going to be our whole
amazing.
podcast. We're going to talk about what is it like to disciple people
I love that.
and help lead them in a real way to have a personal relationship with Jesus and turn their life around, which he is the master of.
Amazing.
He's the master of it. So excited for that. If you had to leave anybody with a couple tidbits or some knowledge bombs, what would you say to him during this season?
Can this season not be evergreen?
Yeah, we've already ruined the evergreen. So just tell them,
okay.
what can they do?
Okay, good. Well,
It's Christmas season.
Yeah, I would honestly carve away time to sit down and do the things that recharge you first. I would, because coming into a busy season of holidays and parties and things that can take you off track of your routine, I would put in the big rocks that matter the most. Don't let those things sway, like your marriage agenda and your coffee break things with your spouse and your family time. Keep those in there. Don't try not to negotiate those as much as you can, because those are going to be the anchors. And I know for us, those are the anchors to get us through the things that we're committed to doing, and give us the energy to be able to sustain through that.
And we say no a lot during the season.
Yeah.
Because we get invited to a ton of parties. We say no to most of them, and we say yes to the ones that matter, because parties aren't going to help you long term. Let me tell you an interesting health tip. They say on average, you will gain 9 to 12 pounds during the holiday season.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, 9 to 12. But here's what they say.
So
you
don't
will
compromise
lose
your workout.
in January, you will lose, if it's 10 pounds, you'll lose 70%. So you will be a net gain for the rest of the next year at 3 pounds. So watch this. So the next year you gain 10 pounds again, you work it off, you get down, your net gain will be up another 3. That's 6 pounds over 2 years. You multiply that 4 years, that's 12 pounds. So you wonder why we're getting fatter as a nation is because you might be
Yes.
gaining 10 pounds, but only losing 7. You do that year after year after year, that's 3 times 5. You gain 15 pounds of your net weight.
Yep.
And then next you know, it's like, why can't I lose weight? Why can't I lose weight? You can't lose weight because of the net gain. So instead of starting in January for your health goals, start November. I like doing a cleanse every November
Right.
because then I'm cleansing for
Sets you
21
up.
days. And then my birthday is November 20th. I'm
Yep.
set up down. I can enjoy my birthday. I can enjoy some of the holidays. But if I don't do that,
Yeah.
I don't want to go up net gain. I can't even fit in my clothes, which is problematic.
That is very problematic.
Wait, don't come into agreement with that.
So you need to make
Wow.
sure those things are in place before you start planning all the other stuff around it.
That's right.
And if you don't have time to do the other stuff, then the answer is no.
Yeah.
You don't do those things.
Yep, that's so true. Put in the priorities of things that matter and get with your spouse and talk about it because you might think this party is where you want to be. I might be thinking this party is where I want to be. We're not going to separate parties without each other. Okay. Especially you looking that good.
Yeah, I
okay.
was thinking of maybe going to separate Thanksgiving, but that's okay.
Just because my mom's in town? Hey, we're going to
I
talk
didn't
about
say
that
that.
offline. You
I
didn't
didn't
have
say
to. I
that.
was picking up your energy on it. We're doing Thanksgiving together and you're going to love every second of
Every
it. Okay.
second.
Every second.
It's going to be amazing.
So, and if my mom's watching this, we're joking. I'm joking. She's not. But
well,
you
my
know,
mom's watching it and you dissed her. So
I
I
didn't
guess
diss
both
her.
our moms are mad now.
I didn't diss her.
So we're really successful today. Both
We're
our moms are mad.
Listen,
We
first of
goal
all,
set to make both our moms mad.
no, we didn't. We honor our parents.
We
And I
didn't.
wasn't dissing your mom. I was just talking to her, and this is real life scenario. I'm not going to lie.
Talking to her.
What? She needed to hear it.
We're in denial. It's okay. We're going to
No.
work on that.
Babe, we're not in denial. She just might not like what I have to say. And I was on my phone when she's trying to talk to me, which is just...
Okay, moving on.
Yeah, moving on. Okay. We won't rehash that in front of you live. But here's what I will tell you is watch the net gain effect. Just know that the highest amounts of depression are December and January, both from emotional and physical. So if you can clean up your body, clean up your mind, set some goals now, live those goals during these months, you won't start off behind the 8 ball in January. So
Right.
We're excited. Check out the Awaken app for all the amazing things with the show Twisted, with our Rady Shell, the night of Christmas. Have some fun. Do things that recharge your family, not suck them dry. And at the end of the day, parties don't matter. All those things that you get asked to do, quit being yes men and women. Draw some boundaries. Put in order with your spouse the things that are the big rocks. Conquer the big rocks. If you're feeling drained, overwhelmed, you love it.
It's good stuff.
Anyways, well, hey, thanks for watching this episode of The Maverick Entrepreneur. Thanks, babe, for being with me.
Yes.
And we will see you next time on The Maverick Entrepreneur. God bless.
I am a fighter. Got a dream.